everybody. Well, I thought I'd do something a little bit different so you can have a little bit different view of me and Jack, I guess. Jack's been a little bit of a lazy fellow. Hasn't really wanted to come out very much lately, but today, well, I'm going in to clean up where he's made a mess, but I thought, well, I'll get him out. I didn't get him out yesterday when I cleaned because it was just a matter of pulling out some paper and wiping up underneath and putting some fresh paper in. I didn't need to spray all over the place, so I knew it wouldn't affect him. But yeah, I just thought, let's get Jack out and let's spend a little bit of time with him today as well, which you might appreciate. He might be just happy to stay in, but you know, sometimes I do make the decision and the choice for him. Not very often. As you know, I'm a huge believer in allowing my snakes to make their own choices in their lives and what they want to do and what they don't want to do. But I sometimes know they need a little bit of coaxing at the same time. So I will spin you around and hopefully you will see Jack laying there. And I'll open his door, and he's a little bit like, maybe she'll feed me, maybe she's not going to feed me. It's getting pretty close to a day where Jack would be due to be fed, but we're still a couple of days off. So, dude, you going to come out? Would you like to come out with Mum? He? No, he says not particularly at all. But I am going to do it, guys, because he really does, and I know it's a bit glary and all the rest of it, but once I get him moving, it's generally okay to come on out. Never too much of a big deal with my boy Jack. I will put him around my shoulders. Sorry that you're kind of out of view a little bit there at the minute, but I'll spin you around and we will head over to where it's a little bit brighter and you can see a little bit better, maybe. So I'm going to put this down, and excuse me while I fiddle with the camera and see if this works a little bit for us today. So yeah, I'm in that other lounge room with Jack, and I thought this might give you a good idea of, like, well, I guess I go outside like this, don't I, and you get to see Jack wriggling around and doing his thing. You're upside down. You're upside down, dude. Now, people ask me, gee, Jack's a big boy. How big is he? And I would, I guesstimate, that Jack is not as long as Lily. Lily would be getting up over the 8.5 foot, 9 foot in length, whereas Jack is around the 8 foot at this particular time. He's of course chubbier than Lily is, of course. He's a coastal, she's a jungle, and jungles just tend to be a little bit slimmer. Although you wouldn't know that with Jesse, would you? He's a bit of a chubber with his girth, but Jack is more girthy than he is in length. I think actually if I think about it, Jessie is actually longer than what Jack is at this particular point, and Jessie is 4 years of age and Jack is coming up pretty much to 8 years of age now. Oh yeah, and my battery's going flat, which is about right for me getting organised, and I get a flat battery, so I'll be back before it just goes on me. Okay, so I'm back and I'm cutting my head off a bit there, but yeah, what I really want to discuss is when I got Jack and Lacey, which, as you know, if you've watched a previous video where I talk about down memory lane, I think, or how they came to be in my life. Thank goodness I do videos, or I'd never ever remember what it is that I actually have or haven't spoken about. I can always go back myself and remember, but I kind of have some faces pulled at me like, do you realise how big these snakes are going to be? Do you have any idea how big these snakes are going to be? I might turn this around so you might be able to see a little bit of the Christmas tree as well. Not a lot of it, but a little bit of it, hey. And certainly, you know, I had an idea of how big coastal carpet pythons could get, but I never really equated into that anything other than, oh, you know, they're a fairly big snake. But what I decided and added up for myself was, okay, this is going to be a very big snake, and all that really means is I have to. Do you want to go and play with toys? Hey? Do you want to go and play with the toys? Is that I'm going to have a trust form, and very well, with these snakes. I was told one day, one of those snakes is going to kill you. And why I got told that is because of how I live with them and how I let them hang on me and be around me, and you know what I mean. I hope you know what I mean. People saw this as me having way too much trust in them. That I was too trusting of them and what they were like, and that they were unpredictable, and that they could turn around at any time and hurt me. And one day, one of my snakes could kill me. So I'm kind of even lost for words, to be perfectly honest. That's a tree. That is a tree. Well, he says I could climb on that, and he probably could, but he's a bit weighty for it and it would topple over. I don't topple over. But I am lost for words because I don't know what to say to people when they say that to me. When they say to me that I'm too trusting of them. I don't understand that either, to be perfectly honest. I've got to trust them, because if I didn't, I would never ever have any time with them at all, would I really? That's how I feel about them. I can give them a kiss on the head. I can get them out. I can judge I guess, their feelings at the time, or where they're at the time. And you know, I have the likes of Tessa. I don't go just in and grab. I know not to do that with Tessa. You know, even Jack, I make him aware that it's me, and I open the door and I take my time and I talk to him and I let him know that it's me and it's not food. He would be a fool, you know, to think otherwise at times. And especially for Jack, you know, within that 24, 48 hour period after I've just fed him, he still tends to be a little bit in that frame of mind of eating and so forth. Whereas Lily, you know, within an hour of giving her last mouth, she's gone. That's it. She knows there's no more food, that she's done when it comes to eating, and I can put my hand in and she's not looking at my hand initially as being food. Jack would. Although, does it take him very long to click into the fact that no, it's not food now, it's just a hand? It doesn't take him very long at all. But you know, even Jack, you know, he's feeling a little bit insecure right now, so he's wrapping his head around me up here. But am I afraid that he's going to choke me? No, not at all. And I'm not afraid, because I'm now supporting him and giving him much more to hang on to. So now he's loosened up here. I can feel what he's doing. I can understand what he's doing and what he's saying to me and what I need to do. So he pretty much does it for himself as well. So, will my snakes kill me? Only if I'm foolish enough to think that they don't rely on me to help them out. And it just all goes together. All he is doing is sorry, my hair's everywhere, but I'm used to that. Is feeling them and understanding. You know, he's so determined to go over to that tree that I'm just a waypoint to get there at the moment. But I could feel him trying to tighten up so he could stretch out. Don't panic. Now, I heard of a lady actually, and I don't know the truth of it or not the truth of it, because I didn't actually see it for myself, but she had, I believe it to be a jungle python around her shoulders that had obviously wrapped around, and I know a lot of people don't do it full stop. And of course you wouldn't do it with a massive great big retic. You know, maybe I shouldn't even do it with Jack. If I wasn't in tune with them like I feel that I am, I wouldn't do it with Jack. And yeah, that's the honest truth, I wouldn't do it with Jack. But yes, a lady was on a phone call to her daughter. Now see, he's got me with his tail and he's hanging on tight, but he's hanging on tight not to choke me, but because he's determined to go somewhere. So I'll let him go and he'll loosen up. Like, he's not choking me to the point where my voice is going a little bit funny, but I can still breathe. But anyway, back to this lady with the phone call. And she had a jungle python around. I don't know how big the jungle python was. I don't know any of that detail. All I know is she was on the phone talking to her daughter, and this snake wrapped around her neck, and she couldn't, I guess, I don't know, loosen. I don't know how many times the snake had wrapped around, etc., how big this snake was. But the snake tightened and tightened, and she couldn't breathe and she died. Like I said, I didn't see that story myself, so I don't know the truth of it. I could understand it. Well, what are you going to do, you big goof, going through that? I don't know if you're going to be able to get yourself. You see the things that they do? And going backwards is not his choice of things to do. So I'm going to have to somehow wrangle him to get through there, which he will, if I help, that is, by widening the gap for him. Oh my goodness, Jack, you really are something. Amazing how they can get themselves into things, and then they rely on us to help them get out of things, of course. But this is bendable, so I knew he'd be able to get through and back out. The things we do, I tell you, do keep going. Just get that fat bit out, and then I know you can do the rest all by yourself. See? That's why we need to have eyes in the back of our heads, guys. So, anyway, back to the subject of, I still have people say, one day one of my snakes is going to kill me, and touching wood, I don't believe so. And I don't think that you should think about that happening to you either, because if you did, you just would never handle them, you wouldn't get them out, you wouldn't do anything with them. You would just pretty much leave them be. Jack is down there crawling around. I've just got his butt here hanging on. This is kind of a little bit new for Jack to be out here in the lounge room, but because he spends a lot of time over in of course the other room. Come back here, dude, and say goodbye to everybody today before you might kill your mum. Hey, do you think you might kill your mum? It's just giving me one of his nose kisses that Jack does quite regularly, don't you? This is an easygoing snake. You know, that's the type of relationship that you want to be able to have with them. A snake that accepts you touching them wherever you choose to touch them. I'm not saying pester them and annoy them by doing something, but certainly having them, I guess in a way, desensitized to lots of things that wouldn't be normal in their life too, because we are human. You know, we are not another snake, are we? Hey, and we don't necessarily do snake things, we do human things with them, and they've just learnt to adapt. But kill me? No, they're not going to kill me. And if I ever do get killed by a snake, I want you all to know that'll be because of my stupidity and not the snake's. Most certainly not the snakes. So guys, from me and Jack, he's just one cruisy, beautiful boy. You take care of yourself, your family, and your friends, and your snakes, because they'll take care of you and all your animals. Ciao.